Thanks for joining us for this episode of This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition. This is Ken Babby, the owner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. So we've gotten to know each other. Just remind everybody, how long have you been the owner here?
It's been about 7-8 years now.
How's that possible? I
know
feel like
what?
saying that already?
Yeah.
7 or 8 years?
I had a full head of hair when we started this, Ken.
When you started this, did you envision where we'd be 7 or 8 years later?
I would love to tell you we had this all on a whiteboard and could plan for what was going to happen in Jacksonville, how much this amazing community has grown. You know, sometimes in life and in business, you got to get a little bit lucky, and we're really fortunate to be here. Clearly, we made a big bet on a community that we were really excited about and proud to be here. It's everything that's happened, everything after that has been a fairy tale.
Yeah, when we first got to know each other, it was the Jacksonville Suns.
That's right.
There was a rebrand.
There was.
And that was part of what we talked about at length was, hey, the passionate Jacksonville baseball fan, if you want to call them Suns, you're going to wear your Sun stuff, come on.
Yeah.
But I still see some of that, but so many people have embraced Jumbo Shrimp in that time, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it was all about getting out and using the baseball team as a platform to do well in the community, to invest in the community, to get out and make Jacksonville a better place to work, live, and play. And you know, you can use a minor league baseball team to do that, it turns out. You know, we play 9 innings of baseball here, but at the end of the day, it's about, you know, really opening up and making this a better place to be. And boy, Jacksonville has responded, and we're just so deeply grateful of that.
So one of the ways Jacksonville has responded this last week, we see that Shrimp proudly announcing Project Next. So $31.8 million publicly financed renovation of the stadium here, the ballpark that we're sitting at. Tell me how that came together and what that means for the franchise and for the community.
It's an incredibly fortunate moment. It's, as I called it, a generational moment for the franchise because, you know, it's rare to find a community and a team and a city all come together in a great public-private partnership to invest in its baseball team. This ballpark, we think, is still one of the best in the country. A AAA ballpark now, but baseball is very different in 2003 from the way it is today.
And that's when it was built.
And that's when it was built. And so, you know, we now have top prospects coming through at the highest of levels, folks that are on major league rosters that are coming both from our team and on visiting teams. And Major League Baseball has increased their compliance requirements for what a minor league facility of our caliber should have. So the first part of our work is really bringing the building up to compliance, working with Major League Baseball, working with the Marlins, our AAA affiliate, working with the city of Jacksonville to renovate the clubhouses, player health, nutrition, and wellness spaces, making sure the building has the adequate facilities that it needs for a building of our time. Then we dug deep on player experience, on fan experience, and started working through what are the things that our fans would expect when they come to a first-rate facility in 2024.
That's something that you've always demonstrated as a priority. We got a baseball team.
Yeah.
I want this to be fan experience driven. You always want it to be special beyond balls and strikes.
That's right.
1, 2, 3 outs in an inning.
That's right. So part about being all about Affordable Family Fund is really committing to the experience, the food and beverage, the experience, the promotions experience, the time when the grandparents bring the kids out here, the experience amongst families, right? As I hear behind us, the sausages and hot dogs rolling on the grill here as we get ready for baseball tonight. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, that experience is the definition of what it is we achieve to do, and to have a city lean in and say, look, we want to make the ballpark a better place. We worked side by side with them to develop this partnership and introduced 3 major construction projects this week, and there's a lot of responsibility and trust in the team to deliver on that experience.
So let's talk about some of the changes people will see, I guess. So brand new scoreboard is going to be one of them.
That's right.
This scoreboard I see behind me?
This is it. So
this is it?
This is 20% larger than our old video board. There's 2 other ribbon boards, one on the first and third base line. Fans will see that when they come to the ballpark this year. So that's ready to go. You'll also see fans on the concourse. We actually asked our fans what were the number one thing they'd like to see in the ballpark, and it gets hot here in Jacksonville, certainly in July and August. Fans told us they wanted fans. And so we built in concourse fans, which will appear here later this season. We're very excited about that. But the real crux of our work were these three projects, which we introduced as part of Project Next. And the new right field building, a new center field front porch, and the new PNC home plate club. These are important efforts that we think will take this ballpark into the next generation, and can't wait to see these things start to take form.
As I looked at the news release, I heard some of the comments at the release or the news conferences last week. One of the things I saw was, hey, yeah, this is about improving it, coming up to Major League Baseball kind of code, if you will, but it's also making this ballpark available for other events. And so we're sitting here tonight. This weekend is going to be Savannah Bananas.
That's right.
Beyond baseball, and that's a different kind of baseball,
exactly.
isn't it? But beyond baseball, there's a way to do events here that make an impact on the community, right?
Yeah, that's right. We had a college baseball tournament here last weekend. This weekend is Savannah Bananas. In the last 6 months, we've started hosting concerts after the Florida-Georgia game. Later this month, we'll have the Florida-Florida State, probably the biggest collegiate game of the year here at the end of March, and that's all outside the 70 jumbo shrimp games that we'll play here. So, I challenge our team every day to be thinking differently about how we can use this ballpark for ways beyond just the jumbo shrimp season, and boy, they've responded, and it's exciting to see the community respond as well.
Saw some comments here from the mayor. So fortunate to have the jumbo shrimp, the city's longest continually operating professional sports franchise here in Jacksonville. That legacy, there's got to be some weight to that as well.
Yeah.
You're carrying a big torch.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately we see, anytime you're in a public-private partnership like this, there's an enormous amount of trust and responsibility to do what's right. What I'm most proud of in terms of our work with this project is we started this work with one administration and continued it and are continuing it with another. And I am deeply thankful that we've been able to have an opportunity to invest, but it only works if you have a partner on the other side that's willing to do that. And of course, the entire time we've had City Council working alongside us as well. So, it's a really special thing to be able to develop that kind of partnership, and we don't take that for granted at all.
There are big plans, not just what you're doing here at One-to-One Financial Ballpark, but behind us, over here, maybe a stadium renovation, some other things building. Obviously, tragic in some ways, there's an apartment building that was almost complete here.
Yeah.
But the mayor's talking about, leaders in the city are talking about, you and the jumbo shrimp, the ballpark here, are a huge component of what happens here, the growth that happens in this arena district, sports district.
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to be a great public citizen of the community, and part of that is celebrating Jacksonville beyond just the jumbo shrimp. One of the things we talked about this week with our new right field building structure is it'll have 360-degree views. Certainly incredible views of jumbo shrimp baseball and the games that are going on here, but fans will also be able to glance out and celebrate everything else that we have, including what we hope is what's to come across the street with the football stadium. So there's good things happening down here. I think the mayor said this week, you're not even going to recognize this sports complex in a couple of years, and we agree. I like to think we're being leaders and taking the first big step in bringing our facility to the next level.
Yeah. Does it make a difference farther west in downtown as some of those projects, they are on and then they're off and whatever? Do you need those things to happen first, or is what you're doing right now going to be a catalyst for some of those development ideas?
I think everybody's just got to sort of find ways to be catalysts to help each other. I'll give you an example of this. On the west side of our ballpark, we have what I would consider as an iconic home plate entrance, a great entrance on the third base side. But as the sports complex moves to the east, there's really no access point today to be able to create that experience for our fans. And so the creation of the center field front porch, as we're calling it, for those who've spent time in St. Louis or other markets where the Ballpark Village concept takes place, we're going to have a grand entrance to the building now in center field, building towards what's happening to the east to complement the great experience we already have coming in from downtown. So we see it as our role to be thinking about the entire footprint of the sports complex, whether it be the arena, the football stadium, the great development that's happening downtown, and we have a role to play in making sure that we're lifting everybody up in that process.
It takes risk to innovate. You've already shown you did that when you rebranded. Is there risk here in what you're trying to do right now?
I think there's risk in anything you do, right? This project is a big lift. I'll give you a great example of a risk that we're taking that I would make 10 times out of 10. We picked a great local construction firm, Birkin Construction. This is a big job for them. The company was founded here. They're built based on local subs. There was no way we were going to pick a company that wasn't from Jacksonville to do that work. I'd make that move time and time again because I believe in the power of local. So if you say, is there a risk there? Sure, but it's a risk I'd make just like bringing in somebody into the team to make the team better. And those are the right choices you make, and I'm completely confident we're going to be successful because of the partners we have around us.
That's really cool. Let's talk a little bit about this upcoming season. Before we got to this transformational stuff we were talking about, I need to talk to Ken just about this season. So minor league baseball and that fan experience, some of my notes, there are lots of things going on. Fireworks, giveaways, signature promotions. What would you point people to as we get ready? Is opening day end of this month?
Yeah, and it's one of the first times we've ever opened on a Friday, so we'll have a chance to be able to get out and be in front of our fans and entertain them for over 70 nights this year, whether it be for our fireworks shows, whether it be for our Thirsty Thursdays, whether it be kids run the bases or playing catch in the outfield on Sunday. That's still my favorite, to watch the little guys out there. I used to enjoy watching my son run around on the field out there as a 15-year-old. I think he may be too old for some of those activities. Right, exactly. But I think that anytime we get a chance to open the gates here, we want to entertain. And this weekend's actually a great example of that. What the Savannah Bananas have done nationally to be able to create that experience is a great marker for us on how we can be better. And people used to make fun of team names like the Jumbo Shrimp, but we believe that we have a lot of fun with who we are. This is minor league baseball, but it's also AAA baseball, the highest level of baseball happening here below the major leagues. So we like to counterbalance that fun with the importance of the competitiveness of the team. We want to win, but we also want to have a great time.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're doing that for fans? Are you giving them a great time?
I hope so. That's our mission. And if we let people down, my name's out there, my email's out there. I hope folks will reach out and tell us how we can do a better job. It's ken@jackshrimp.com, by the way. So I invite everybody to reach out and say, what would you do differently? That's part of the reason we're building the center field plaza, or replacing the video board, or putting fans on the concourse. We've spent a lot of time asking and listening, and now it's our chance to respond and give fans what it is that they've asked for.
Ken, Babby, thanks for responding and saying, yeah, let's meet at the ballpark and tape this episode. Thanks for watching This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition. You'll find more episodes online wherever you find your podcasts, including Spotify and News4Jax Plus.